All right, so it's saying we are live on tonight's installment of Flying Solo. So I don't know if this is going to be an every week thing or whatever. This is just kind of an impromptu type of thing. Can you guys hear me okay? So I'll see if anybody responds. Who knows if I'm even recording right now. Hey, Keith, Mateo, Steven, Sean, Harry, Dave, Foo Master's coming back. Appreciate it. Sound is good. Thanks, Harry, for letting me know. So, basically, it's just kind of an impromptu live chat. Um, just want to share some ideas with all of you who are willing to sound off with me here tonight. Again, I don't know, Cajun Tiger, hello. I don't know if this is going to be a weekly thing. I'm just super bored tonight because we're about to get hit with some snow. So, when there's snow, a lot of times I don't have to go into work, which is pretty sweet. So I'm bored. So I decided to make a really entertaining live chat. And tonight's topic, hey, Nodak, Paul, what's up? I'm going to talk about, some of the interests I have right now with certain handguns, kind of get your input and try to figure out where I want to go with this. Sandpaper, what's up, buddy? Fit and Fire, Mark, what's going on? So I'm kind of thinking about my next carry gun. It's kind of a weird, I guess obsession, so to speak. But I think a lot of people who start to kind of get wrapped up in YouTube tend to go out and buy just all these guns, and a lot of times, you collect them, you hold on to them, and then certain guns, as time goes on, you kind of just ditch them. As hard as that sounds, for me, there are certain guns that I will always own. My CZP-01 is definitely a lifer. The others, my PPQ is a lifer. My Steyrs. But then there are certain guns, like, I know a lot of people are going to flip out when I say this, but I am still not 100% on the H&K VP9 bandwagon. There's just something about it. I don't really know. I did see that Nolan did cancel his because he was sick with the flu. So my sympathies go out to you, Nolan, because it sucks. And Keith is asking if I have any revolvers. I don't actually have any revolvers. I'm not really a revolver guy, to be honest with you. I don't know what it is. For me, I just, I never really got interested in them. It's sort of like the 1911 thing with me. I'm not a huge 1911 fan, and I know some people think that's blasphemy, but for me, it's just not. I'll give you kind of a rundown of some of the guns that I'm looking at right now. I need to start thinking about summer carry because I have no single stacks and I have no subcompacts anymore. They're all gone. So one gun I'm going to mention, you guys are probably going to say absolutely not, but I don't know what it is about the gun. I've owned it before and I actually like them. And unfortunately, it is a company that is synonymous with Trader. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Steven is asking, what do I think of the news on the Shield, that new 380? That thing is pretty badass. I mean, that thing looks pretty sweet. I like the fact that it looks more like an M&P 2.0, than the actual Shield 2.0 does, but I think it looks pretty cool. Now, I'm not sure, but is there like a grip safety on that thing? Because it looked like there was some sort of lever on the back, but I'm not sure. Although I will tell you that trigger looks pretty sweet too. It looks like they finally maybe are hopefully moving away from that hinge trigger, but who knows? You can't ever tell. But interestingly enough, you brought up, let's see, Mark brought up the Glock. I've actually been looking at a Glock MOS. If you guys watched my 320 video with the red dot, it's something I'm interested in maybe getting a little bit better at shooting. So for me, the red dot's kind of an intriguing thing. It's the idea that supposedly you can get quicker acquisition, but it's a little bit harder to shoot accurately because, you obviously have to bring the gun up, make sure the dot is centered. So that's going to take me some time to really get through and just work on, because again, I'm no expert by any means, but I'm willing to try. It's going to be an expensive try because, I want to get a lot of rounds down range with a red dot to get comfortable with it. I mean, it's just a necessity in my opinion. So I'm going to do my best to try to keep up with some of the things you're saying, and then I'll do my best to, try to carry on. So Mark is already unsubbed me because I'm not a 1911 fan. I don't know what it is, man. It just doesn't do anything for me. Let's see. So Mateo's saying carry guns are Steyr 40, and he plans on getting a TP9 SF Combat for carry also. That looks pretty cool. I've actually thought about the damn Elite again, and I'm definitely not going to get one, but it definitely is. It's kind of, I don't know, for whatever reason, piqued my interest again. Dave Gass talked about the Springfield XD Mod 2. It's interesting, Dave. That is actually the gun that I keep looking at, and I cannot buy it just because it says Springfield on it, because I like the gun. It's a great shooting gun, but I just can't do it, and I like it. I like the gray framed, 4-inch, but I just can't do it at this point. And the prices are just getting ridiculously low on them. Let's see. So yeah, the Glock MOS, the Glock 19 MOS has me kind of interested. I can get a good price on one that's OD green. So I don't know. I'm kind of tossing it around. Do I still have a Gen 4 19? It's funny, Harry, that you asked me that. I actually have no Glocks anymore. I've sold every Glock. But that was also to fund some other things that I wanted to do. And, that's kind of part of the life, when you're doing this stuff, is that you can't afford everything. I mean, for example, I'm going to be shooting a Shadow 2, hopefully within the next decade, because, Sandpaper Pistol Grips actually sent me his to just run it a little bit. And I'm so excited to shoot that damn gun. I actually felt it, held it. And the thing is just ridiculous. I mean, it weighs an amazing amount. So I'm assuming it's going to be a pretty smooth shooting handgun. And let's see. So yeah, no more Glocks for me. I'm actually getting really into the M&P line. I really like the M&P 2.0. If you guys don't have that, you might want to look into that, because that to me is it's a great handgun. At some point I'm going to get the compact. But right now I still don't have it because of New York State. So I'm going to run down a couple of single stacks that I'm interested in. And I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. You guys are going to give me some advice tonight. Doesn't mean I'm going to take it, but I'm definitely going to listen to see what you have to say. So right now on the radar for me, 3 single stacks that I'm looking at for summer carry, that are small, that are usable, that are shootable. Some I've actually owned before, and all of them I've sold before. So the first one on my radar right now, because I'm a total fanboy, and yes, Mateo, you're absolutely right, the Walther PPS M2 for me. Now, it's not just the regular M2. I'm actually looking at the one with the shield red dot, I think they call it the RMSC, I believe. So I'm looking at that one. They haven't released any prices on it. I mean, they're just doing the retail price, but I'd be interested to see what that's actually going to cost. And I'm actually going to try to pull some strings in Walther and see if I can get that at like a reduced cost, because I'm super interested in it. Keith, unfortunately, the Glock 19 American flag model is officially been sold. And, for me, I had a hard time letting it go. But when I got an offer that was just a sick offer, you know what? It had to go, man. It was just a crazy offer, and that's the way it is sometimes. So yeah, getting back to the PPS, I'm really looking forward to the PPMS M2, the RMSC. I think it's a pretty cool idea with having that small red dot. Now, I've heard some back and forth about the red dots maybe not being as resilient as some of the other ones, but I don't know, and I know that, some people have issues with the M2. I think Harry is a total Sig Sauer P365 fanboy, so I'm going to ignore what you're saying right now. But yeah, I really would like to see that PPS M2. The second single stack carry gun is going to be the Shield 2.0. I do not own a Shield 2.0. I've had several Shields in the past, and I like them. They're great shooting guns. I think, in my opinion, they're still the premier single stack, but that's just my opinion. But I'm still interested in that gun. And, there are some really crazy low offers on that too right now. I mean, they're going for, in some places, $320. I know Gun Buyer had just sent me an email for, I think it was either I can't remember, it was $329, $359, or $369, but it was actually a new one where it's Cerakoted stainless steel, which was pretty sweet, but it was only the grip. It wasn't the slide. So they have that, but it has the grip safe, or the thumb safety. So I don't know if people would be interested in that, but that price is crazy low. And to me, that's a lot of gun for such a small price. And then, of course, everybody's new favorite, the new hot girl in school, is the P365. And I know a lot of people are into that. A lot of people are interested in it. I haven't even been able to see one in person. I know my local gun shop is talking about having them in a couple of weeks, but who knows? Like I said, it's very hard to find new guns in New York. If it doesn't say Glock or Smith & Wesson, it's very difficult to find them. So those are the three that I'm looking at. Now, of course, I left off a few. Obviously, the Rugers, the Glock 43. I won't carry a 380. I'm just not a 380 guy. So the minimum caliber would be a 9 for me. But what do you guys think? I mean, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say about that. Do you go with the Walther that, you get the RMSC on it? It comes with 3 magazines. It also has co-witnessing, which I think is, in my opinion, essential if you're going to run a red dot. And then, of course, you have the Shield, which, if you do the comparison price-wise, you're getting an awful lot for your money for such a well-made gun, and one that has a great track record. I mean, let's face it, the Shield's track record, I think, is excellent. And then, also the 365, the new girl in town. Again, I haven't seen it. I know Big Johnson actually sent me a picture. He got his hands on one, and it was ridiculous. It looked like a little toy gun in his hand. So I'm not exactly sure. I've been watching Poe Performance's videos, Harry's videos on it. And it's impressive. It's for sure. It's an impressive gun for the size, but I don't know. I can't really decide on any of those three. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. In regards to other purchases, I don't know, man. I was looking at, like I said, the Glock 19 MOS. I'm kind of interested in that to see if I could run the Vortex Venom, but we'll see. So let's see what's going on here. Nodak saying the P10 has been calling his name lately. The P10, Nodak is a great gun. I have no complaints about him. Yeah, mine had some hangups after 1,000 rounds, but since it came back from CZ, it's been excellent. I can't say enough about it. And then Luke is saying, I'm crazy because I sold all my Glocks. Not crazy. I don't think I'm crazy. And like I said, I'm looking at getting another one. So, that's the way it is sometimes, Let's see. Walther or Shield for Keith. Let's see. Mateo is saying the Walther gets his vote. Dave Gass has said he shot his Shield, a 2.0 9mm, and his 2.0 M&P with TFX Pro sights, both over 500 flawless rounds. So, Dave, I just want to know your M&P, the new one, is that FDE by any chance? And let's see. Walther does seem nice. And again, I own the PPS M2. It's a great gun. I mean, ergonomically, it's great. Shoots pretty well. For a small gun, it's not that snappy. I actually would think the Shield was a little bit more snappy than the Walther. But again, as some people have mentioned, it's probably due to the weight. Let's see. Go with the Shield. Yeah, I mean, the Shield right now has got me the most tempted just because of the price. And like I said, you're getting great price, great firearm, great quality. You can't really ask for more than that. And there's so many aftermarket things you can do with it, from the trigger to mag extensions and all that other stuff. Let's see. Primary Machine has a good deal on CZ slides with the Venom on top when I just ran Red Dot. Yeah, I've been looking at trying to get somebody to mill my slide because I have the Venom already. But the P10 is definitely one. And what I've been seeing online is that they can actually make the cut really deep into the slide, so it actually works perfectly. Let's see. The Armsman says 1776 flocks come and go, a dime a dozen, always available. So I think you made a good move. Yeah, I mean, I love Glocks. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and bash them. I think they're great, fantastic firearms. But for all the guns that I've owned, they seem to be the ones that I turn over the most. If I think about all the Glock 19s, I think I've owned 3 Glock 19s, 2 17s, a 26, almost owned a 43, and then decided not to go that route. But yeah, I mean, for me, it always seems like the Glocks turn over a lot. And I think it's also because in my area, my neck of the woods here, everybody wants a Glock, because not many people are educated on some other guns. So let's see. Delta Point Pro. Yeah, I'm just going to use what I have. Like I said, I pay for everything. So unfortunately, I got to use what I got. And so that's why I'm talking about the Venom. May not be the best red dot, but it'll work. I'm not going to be jumping out of helicopters or anything like that. Well, that would be fun. Shield, great prices. Again, yeah, I mean, they're going crazy low. Even the ones with the Crimson Trace. I've been looking at those as well because I've been wondering, do I want a laser on my gun? And, I held one with the Crimson Trace, but I didn't really care for it because I didn't like the location of the button to activate the laser. I wish they would have put it on the grip as opposed to the side of the almost like the underbelly of the frame. But that's, kind of my opinion. Let's see. Which one has a better trigger, the P09 or SP01 Phantom? Wookie Jinx, that's going to depend. If let's say Big Johnson was here, he would swear by the P09 because it has the flatter face trigger. The Omega thing is debatable if it's better or not. The Omega thing, in my opinion, is just an interchangeable trigger mechanism, or the whole trigger grouping. So like you can take it from one P09 and put it on another one without having to do anything. So, that's really where the Omega is. I think the shape of the trigger is what everybody likes. For me, I've had both. I would tell you that mine wasn't really based on trigger why I sold the P09 and kept the Phantom. Mine was just about the ergonomics. The P09, in my opinion, was a little too straight. And then the Phantom is, in my opinion, a really nice feeling classic CZ75 grip in polymer. So, that's sort of why I went with that one. Let's see. Which one has less recoil, VP9, P10, or Steyr L9? The Steyr. Steyr has, I mean, if you've ever shot a Steyr, whether it's an S9, M9, or the L9, I've never shot a C9. There's very minimal recoil on a Steyr. I would say it's Steyr number one. The P10 for me is number two, and the VP9 is last. But again, I am not a fan of the VP9. I'm just not. I don't know what it is about that damn gun, but I just cannot seem to fall in love with that gun. I've been Fit and Fire saying the PX4. I've been looking at those as well. And I like them. They're nice guns. I like the rotating barrel. I know their recoil is not very high because of that system. I just have not been able to pull a trigger on that. And there are some crazy good prices on those right now. I think I've seen them on Gun Broker for like in the upper threes. And that's crazy. That's crazy for that gun. Let's see. Where'd you get the gray grips on your P07? The gray grips came from Traction Grips. If you contact the owner of the company, he may be able to do them. I think they were just kind of like a test grip because they were like this plasticky kind of tacky feeling grip. They're actually pretty cool. Excellent grips. Let's see. Steyr again. I used P10C for $425. It depends on how used. That's what I would say. How used is it? Yeah, they're going to be 3 guys tomorrow, Dave. This is, like I said, just an impromptu chat. I'm just bored out of my mind tonight. And honestly, I didn't want to put up with the 2 ass clowns. Just kidding. That's not true. No, I just decided to do it. And to see, how many of you guys were dumb enough to show up. Let's see. Yeah, Fintfire saying he doesn't really like Beretta. Neither do I. I can't stand the APX. Not a fan of what is the M9s or whatever they are. I don't like them, but the PX4, man, has always been a nice gun. Just don't like the plastic trigger. Let's see. Decidious Supreme Chancellor. I'm assuming you like Star Wars. So yeah, the Steyr love, man. Look, I am a Steyr fanboy to the very end. My L9 is just a fantastic firearm. I will tell you, you can get holsters from Hidden Hybrid. You can get holsters from, I don't know if Vetter makes them. No, I think they only make it for the M9. You might want to contact Renaissance Holsters, because he made one for me for my L9, and it works great. Fantastic. Let's see. Yeah, Gun Broker had it for $449. Yeah, man, that would have been something to jump on. I actually got mine. I got 2 of them, and the one that has the night sights I got from CZ Customs, and I think it was around $500. So I didn't think that was that bad. What do you think about P07 versus Glock 19? It's going to depend on you, buddy. What do you feel comfortable carrying? Do you want a striker fire versus a hammer? Do you want, a single action, even though it's not a single action trigger? I know, I understand, but you don't have the heavy first pull, second pull on, light pull on the Glock. as opposed to CZ. The CZ is amazingly smooth, and the price is freaking ridiculous. And they just came out with the OD green one, so that might be something you want to look at. Somebody's texting me. It's probably Big Johnson. No, it's KS. Anyway, let's see. 39 people. Wow. Thanks guys for showing up, man. I appreciate it. Let's see. I'm going to try to go back with this chat and try to keep up with all you guys. Let's see. What do you think, PO0? I already answered that. Finfire gets present. Okay. Sandpaper pistol grips. Am I the only one that thinks it's strange that Germany has some of the most strict gun laws in the world, but they export some of the most expensive firearms in the world? It's true, man. And then we have, some of the most liberal gun laws, and in certain states we have the shittiest gun laws. It's great. Let's see. Is there an arms list in New York? If so, can you straw man purchase there? No, you can't. There's arms list here. I've sold a bunch of stuff on arms list, but you can't do anything like that. Nope, because it depends on the FFL. Everything has to go through an FFL here, including long rifles and stuff like that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. We just dropped off to 7. Is that true? We only got 7 people? That's all right. It's all good, man. Like I said, it's impromptu. I'm not trying to, make waves. You know what I mean? Jam Customs Kydex has Steyr holsters. I'm gonna have to look at that because I like I said, I like having an abundance of holsters so I can switch them up. I will tell you, one of the holster companies that I'm telling you, man, is just freaking phenomenal are those Black Arch holsters, man. They're just super comfortable. That's all, they're just amazing. So I like them quite a bit. Ruger 9 is hammer fired. That is correct. It's got one of those like hidden hammers inside there. I actually held one of those. It was pretty nice. Look, if you're in the market for a really affordable, what appears to be quality handgun, the Ruger Security 9 is a very good choice. Very good choice. I haven't shot it, but just field stripping it and just kind of dry firing it around. It was actually very nice. I think they did a great job with that handgun. Now KS is he's going to sleep. He's got to go to bed. Bye. It's too late for him. I'm going to bust on them a little bit because they're not here. Yeah, PO7 and PO9 prices are amazingly great right now. As a matter of fact, I think you can get an FDE PO9 for, I want to say like $540. And I know it's a little bit higher because right now you can find some of them for $400, $450 around there. But if you like the FDE, plus it comes with the night sights, I mean, that's not a bad deal. And it's a lot of gun, that's for sure. Yep, PO7. The later models of the PO7 are compatible with the P10s. The earlier releases of the newer PO7s are not. That's true. Have I watched Altered Carbon? I started watching it last night actually, and I just was like, "This is weird." So yeah, I actually watched. I started watching it. It's not bad. It's kind of, excuse me, it's kind of Blade Runner-ish. Let's see. Do you have any experience with Ruger SR9E? I don't. I've never owned a Ruger. I am not a big Ruger fan. The SR9E is basically the lower end model of the SR9 series. So I think the finish is different, comes with one magazine, and it comes in like a basic cardboard box. But you know what? For a glove box gun, why the hell not? Absolutely. Let's see. So Thin Lips is saying he's going to sell his M&P 9L, and he's going to see if he can get the Steyr with 4.5-inch barrel. So that's the L9. I highly recommend that. I mean, it's just fantastic. Fantastic gun. So it's got the, M9 grip with the long slide. To me, that's a great, great match. Dave saying I should definitely do this more. We'll see, man. Like I said, it's time, and I don't want to make this about me because usually the Three Guys Gun Chat is about all three of us. But every once in a while, it's fine. We'll see. I appreciate your support, though. Thanks, man. Let's see. Yeah, I think the reason why the L9s are so in stock, people still just don't know anything about Steyr. I mean, as a matter of fact, let me pull it up. Let me see what I got. There's the L9, and there's the M9. So, I mean, I look at this, and this is my M9. This is actually Cerakoted aftermarket. This is not the green one they came out with. This is Bazooka Green. And, man, I love this gun. This gun's got, excuse me, guys, my throat's a little dry still. But this one has over 1,000 rounds through it, and the thing's been flawless. It's never had one single failure. And then the L9, excuse me, this has about 400 rounds, 450, maybe even 5. I don't shoot this enough, but I am going to be shooting this soon. And this gun is even better than the M9. But that's my opinion. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Should you sell your Smith & Wesson 5906 for a P07? Yes. It's a lot lighter. Yeah, the L9 for me, I'm never going to sell. Never going to sell any of the Steyrs because they're just phenomenal shooting guns. At least for me. Again, everybody's going to be different. I've heard from people who have said that they've had issues with the guns. I've heard from people who said that the guns are just amazing, and I have never had a problem with them. So I recommend them because I love them. That's it, plain and simple. If you told me what would you choose, a Glock 19 or an M9, I'm choosing the Steyr M9 all day, every day. It's that much better. Yeah, the green frame came out pretty cool. I mean, this was done by my local gun shop, and he did a nice job. It's starting to wear a little bit on the frame, but that's what happens when you use it. Do I like the L9 or the M9 better? I actually like the L9 better. Don't get me wrong, the M9 again is just phenomenal as well, but the L9 you're getting the advantage of the longer slide, and the grip is still the same of the M9, and this gun just shoots incredibly flat. I mean, it's just, this to me is the ultimate gun. I know a lot of people out there saying the Gen 19X or whatever, the Glock 19X. To me, this is the reversed version of it. Nice long slide, nice short grip, excellent for concealing, and still a damn good gun to shoot. Yeah, so Sandpaper Pistol Grips actually sent me these grips, and I put the rubberized grips on there, as you can see. So he just said that he actually modified and put the hole. Yeah, that was one thing I was kind of missing on that one. I wish that the hole would have been there, but it's all good. It works. Yeah, Fu Master saying he hasn't had any problems with the Steyrs. He's going to be getting another one. That's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Yeah, and the Armsman is right. Make sure you research the date coding for the newer gens. That's kind of the I guess you can say the myth about it. A lot of people saying the Gen 4 Steyrs, which both of mine are the best of all. But you also have to look at when they were actually created. I mean, if it's a Gen 4 from 2015, 14, I guarantee you'll probably run into some feeding, not even feeding issues, but maybe just erratic ejection, that type of stuff. As you get into the 2016s, no problems, because I think a lot of times what Steyr was doing, and again, I'm not sure, I'm just speculating on this, was that they were using some old parts for the newer gens, and that's where they got some hangups on it. Yep. L9 is great. I mean, they're both great. I even had an S9 at one time, but when I sold off all my subcompacts, that one went also. Kind of wish I still had it. One of the things I've been looking at is trying to, see if some company, because, this stuff is expensive, man, but it'd be nice if a company would actually, I issued a challenge asking a company to come and take this slide and mill it out so I could put a red dot on it. And so far, zero, zero on that one. Let's see. Local Massachusetts FFL, if they were going to get that Steyr, he said, what is a Steyr? Yep. That's about it. Yep. And then Mateo saying the problem was with stiffer spring for NATO spec. Yeah, it could be that. I mean, I ran into that issue with the Canic too, so that's definitely a possibility. Sandpaper Pistol Grips is plugging his own channel, and that was a great video, by the way. I enjoyed watching you shoot on that awesome range. So he did a nice job with that, and he was pretty darn accurate with it. I actually don't have a stainless steel guide rod in this one. I have a DPMS Systems guide rod system in here. For this one, I haven't done anything to it yet. It's still got the polymer guide rod. So I may look into something for this. I don't know if I'd get a DPMS again, unless they want to send me one. I probably will get something, even though I don't think it's necessary, to weigh it down because it's such a flat shooting gun to begin with. I would tell you that shooting this, I actually shot this better than my M9 when I first took it out. But it could be because I was more used to the grip angle and stuff. Mechanic is junk. I can't speak to that. I can speak only to my experience. I had a debacle with the TP9 SF Elite, and that was kind of a bummer because I was really looking forward to that gun, but the gun was just filled with problems, and but I did get an SFX out of it, so I thought that was a good gun. Don't be ashamed, pistol grips. Don't be ashamed, my friend. Plug away, pal. Matter of fact, some of these guys who are on here, if you haven't figured it out, they all have their own channels. Check them out. We always say that every Wednesday night. There's a lot of good content out there. And again, I don't know if the Canic is a poorly made gun. I would tell you that there are some weird little quirks to at least the Elites. I know the other ones, the SF and the older models that came out, they were basically modeled after Walthers. And I think where it went wrong was they kind of changed that model up. They kind of changed it, and then Century Arms got involved in it. And next thing you know, it kind of it took a big dump. At least the initial run of them. Oh, look, see, Mateo agrees with me. Yeah, and Thin Lips, I was one of those guys. Hey, what's up, Triple C? I had a tremendous amount of problems with my thing. Actually, the spring for the slide lock broke, and that was when I decided to say screw it, and I sent it back to him. And then, I did this whole video montage about it, and it was so bad. Sorry, guys, I'm going to blind you with my bald head, but it was so bad that they actually shipped my gun to New Hampshire instead of to New York, where I lived, and that's when I said, you know what, I'm done with this. So you're asking, let's see, where is it at? I believe, sir, and this would be Decidius. I believe you're asking about that trigger right there. I actually did a video on that trigger, man. On my other one, I had an orange one, and then they sent me out the red one. So HB Industries makes great stuff. Excellent trigger. Is it going to like rock your world as the best trigger in the world? It's not really meant for that. You have the ability to replace your striker spring to reduce your poundage. And then it's just the shape of the trigger. I like the shape of this much better, only because it's flatter, and that damn safety, the trigger safety, goes all the way in. It recesses in, as opposed to the one that came stock with the gun. Let's see. I saw V-Borg come in. What's up, V-Borg? Yeah, that's New York legal. That's right. High points are New York legal. Speaking of New York, I got the story for you guys. I actually have a gun that I've been waiting for since December 14th. It's a P01 Omega, and it's friggin' awesome, and I'm a huge P01 fan. So this was a unicorn gun that I could never find. So I wound up finding one through KS's place where he's at, and it had a threaded barrel. In New York State, you can't have threaded barrels. So I wound up buying the gun. They shipped the gun to me without the barrel, and then my boy KS had a gun smith near him recrown the barrel. So I have the barrel in my safe, but I don't have the gun because the judge has not gotten around to signing it, and it's been 8 weeks. So thanks, New York. So I'm so excited to get that gun. You guys have no idea. Like I said, that to me was the unicorn gun for a long time. So you're having trouble finding steel guide rods for his Gen 4 19. Really? That's interesting. I don't know if you guys have any suggestions for a revolver. Let them know. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good budget guns coming out right now. I think a lot of times people get confused with budget meaning crap. And it's not like that, in my opinion. You can get some excellent, excellent quality handguns for budget prices. Yes, revolver, 8 friggin' weeks. I actually just wrote a huge letter to our local sheriff who's pro-gun, and just was like, it's ridiculous that we're waiting this long and we have never committed crimes. And he basically said he's been trying his hardest to fight the legislator body here, but unfortunately, we have a judge in the middle of nowhere making the decisions for everybody else. I'm not a gun snob either, but you know what? My money is not unlimited, so I'm not going to buy a high point. Sorry, it is the urban gray, Cajun. It absolutely is. So, and it's funny because I've only held it once. I held it once when it first came in. Yep, that's awesome. I love it. So great. Yeah, one day, Armsman, I'll get out of here. But I gotta wait till retirement. Yeah, come down to Texas. Maybe one day, but no day soon, that's for sure. I got kids who are going to school, family around here, so I'm stuck. What we need to do is get rid of our governor, just vote him out of office. Make sure I clarify that before I get flagged. So it's 10:47. I'm probably not going to be on much longer, guys. I didn't have any intention of staying on too long. Doesn't seem like there's too many people on anyway, but that's cool. I mean, if all you can afford is a high point, then go for it. I like I say, I think any gun is better than no gun. Just like you can rag on me for having 10-round magazines, but you know what? I'll take 10 rounds as opposed to no rounds. So that's sort of the way I look at things. Let's see. Yeah, so Triple C, that new 380, the Smith and Wesson, I think that's pretty awesome. I like the way it looks. It really looks like a full size M&P 2.0. The trigger is different, so I think that's a huge, huge win for them. It's amazing. Smith, I think for a while was kind of fledgling a little bit, and all of a sudden they came out with the 2.0, and it wasn't met with really high praise. Then they came out with the Shield 2.0, and everybody was kind of on board with that. And then, of course, they came out with the 2.0 compact, which I think just sealed the deal for him and put him back on the what the hell I'm trying to say, on the map, so to speak. So I think they did a great job with that. Thanks, Armsman. So yeah, tune in tomorrow. We're gonna have to chat tomorrow. It's gonna be on my channel again. So I hate to do that to you guys, but come on back if you want. We'll talk about wonderful things. No problem, man. It's what it's about. And I do want to say that I think that's I watch some of the live chats a lot, and I'm not knocking anybody's channel, but one of the things I've noticed is a lot of times when some guys do their live chats, they never answer any questions. They just have these mindless conversations about bullshit, and then at the end they say, "Oh, let's take some questions," and then they never take any questions, or you have to add a magic $20 bill for them to answer a question. And I've said this all along, like, this is not what we do. It's not what the Three Guys Gun Chat is about. It's not what any of my chats are going to be about. It's always about answering questions. It's a conversation. Obviously, nobody else is on here with me, but the whole point of my channel is to listen to what you guys have to say and then kind of answer as much as I can. Keith is saying he wishes Three Gun Guy chat can start an hour later. It's unfortunate. I live on the East Coast. You got KS living in the Midwest, and then you got Big J down in Texas. So, you've got Central Time Zone, Eastern Time Zone. And if I was to start at 9, it just wouldn't work out for me necessarily. So we try to do it where all three of us agreed. So unfortunately, it's got to stick there, Sorry. Sorry. C4. Hello, C4 Defense. Yeah, like I said, sandpaper, I just decided to do it. I've been a little bored today. No, I haven't gotten any new guns, and haven't been able to get to the range. So why the hell not? Thanks, Dave. Appreciate it. Did I ever review the Bursa? I had an offer to review it. Gosh, what was I'm trying to remember his, you guys remember Kaywood? I don't know what happened to that dude. He kind of just disappeared, but he once reached out and said, "Hey, you know what? Would you mind if I sent you the BP9?" And I said, "Sure." I said, "But you got to wait till the summer because I just didn't have time in that time period." But it never panned out. I mean, I've dry fired, I've held it. It's a nice gun, but the trigger, man, is super super short and super light, which could be good, but it could be bad. Just depends. Steve Lemieux is an official fanboy of CZ. I can understand that. Now get yourself one with a hammer. Dave was bored also. Yeah. No, man. Sometimes boredom is no good. I did go to the gym. I went to the gym today. Felt pretty good. Felt strong. Plus, I got to lose some weight, man. Man, as soon as I hit 40, it just went downhill. When I was in my 30s and 20s, I could eat 3 pieces of pizza and get rid of it in 20 minutes. I eat 3 pieces of pizza now. It takes me 30 days just to get rid of one. Yeah, Paris, I'm totally psyched for the 320. I can't wait to shoot that gun. Obviously, it's going to take me a little time to get used to that red dot, but I'm really excited. I know a lot of people gave the 320 flack. As a matter of fact, in my video, I believe I was called basically an idiot a couple of times, which is always interesting. Yeah, it was an interesting week overall, I have to say, with all the comments I've been getting. It's kind of funny. I don't know if it's good that I'm getting so much hate, but this week I was called a moron at least twice. I was called a homosexual once, which I think my wife would be shocked about that. It's just very odd. All of the interesting conversations, man. It's unbelievable. But oh yeah, wait until I hit my 50s. Yeah, I don't know, man. My body's got some mileage on it. So I always worry about that. But yeah, the P320 RX, man, I think is a total win. I got it on a great price. I couldn't resist it, and I actually put the Apex trigger, and I'm hearing from the folks at Apex that they're going to be sending me the trigger bar. They just put out a new trigger bar with the trigger. If you've seen that, I got an email from them, so I contacted them, and I think they're going to send me the trigger bar to hook up with the trigger. So I'm totally psyched about that. I think it's going to be awesome. Carry my revolver. Totally, totally agree with that. Everybody wants to be prepared for whatever, but you know what? If you've got to walk a lot or run out of a situation, you got to be in shape for that. It's important. I agree. Yeah, Mateo, you're absolutely right. I was only called it twice and a single gay claim. Excellent week. You're absolutely correct, sir. Damn, you haven't even shot the SIG yet, huh? That's too bad. Do I still like the PPQ? Yes, I still love my PPQ. I've been saying earlier tonight, one of the guns that I just can't, I don't know what it is. I know a lot of you out there like this gun, but the VP9 for me is just, I don't know what it is, man. I do not like that gun. And it's crazy because ergonomically it's good. The trigger is good. It's got a it's got a low slide height. It's a nice shooting gun, but I just don't like it. And every time I hold that PPQ, it just melts in my hand. It's a good, very similar feeling to a Steyr when I hold it. It's not the same angle. It's not the same grip, but it just feels that good in the hand. And I put the Apex trigger in there. So I'm waiting to just get to the range and open it up because I haven't shot it since I put that damn trigger in. So once I do, I'll kind of make a video on that because I'm totally so stoked about it. Yeah, P10 is a great size. I mean, it's a nice gun. The trigger guard, I think the trigger guard is, I don't know if you're talking about the P10, but I think it is a little bit small. I mean, you can see there's not a lot of space in there. I mean, I guess you can fit a gloved hand, but it had to be a thin glove. But yeah, I think it's a little bit small. Joe, PPQ subcompact looks really nice. I'm not a fan, not a fan of it. For me personally, if I had to pick one from Walther, I'd go with the P99 subcompact. I will tell you what kind of sealed the deal with me on the subcompact was the roll pin that keeps the striker assembly in or together. For me, that was done, not happening. I just don't like that. That's what they built the Creed off of, and the Creed is a budget gun. I don't know why they would do that with their flagship. I just don't understand that. And so as a result, I'm not touching it. Not saying it's a bad gun, not saying it wouldn't work for you. I'm just not going to touch it. And Dave, you are correct. I have given that VP9 fair chance. Absolutely. 3 fair chances. God. So if anybody wants a VP9, I'll sell it to you. It's got 6 magazines. Yeah, it's fine, Mateo. I mean, if you're not into the P10, you're not into it. It's just, it's not a bad gun. It's, in my opinion, a great gun. But I know you like the Steyrs, and I would choose a Steyr over a P10. PCR was a great gun. Love the PCR. Phantom is a great gun. If you look on the slide, the back end of the slide, Joe, you're going to see a roll pin in there. Let's see. Do all the 320RXs? I don't think they all have trigger upgrades. The one that I picked up did from factory, so that's why I got it. It worked out well. And honestly, the trigger, some people were complaining about the trigger. I know that KS made a video and he was saying that the trigger wasn't as good. The one thing I did notice about this trigger compared to the other ones that I own was this trigger is much heavier, much heavier. It feels it's about 8 pounds. So yeah, I think I think it was almost a pound heavier than my original one, but it's got a short take up. The stock trigger had a short take up and a really nice reset if you care about reset. But it was a heavy pull, heavy 8 pounds. And then with the Apex Advanced trigger, I think I got it down to 7 pounds, which is about average for what that does. And then we'll see how the trigger bar works with it. So I'm pretty excited about that. Should be pretty cool. Let's see. Yeah, I'd like to hear how your 357 barrel works in that Steyr, man. This should be pretty cool. I think that'll be pretty awesome. And that's the other thing too. I've been looking at different calibers. I'm a 9mm guy, but I've been looking at maybe I don't know, playing around with 10 mil or even 357 SIG. I don't know yet. I don't know if I want to do it. I'm just thinking about it. So we'll see. I don't know. All right, guys. So in about a minute and a half, I'm going to wrap this up. Somebody's asking PPQ versus the M&P 2.0 compact. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I still have not gotten my 2.0 compact. That one is also in limbo. So maybe by the time, this year is over, I'll have it, but I haven't shot it yet. Plus, once I get it, I'm installing the Apex trigger in there as well. So, it'll be Apex versus Apex, even though I think the advantage would go to the way they made the 2.0 trigger versus the PPQ, because the PPQ is just a trigger shoe with the trigger bar, and that's it. Yeah, 10mm is addicting. Yeah, anything that goes bang is addicting. I like 45, man. I've shot a couple of 45s. I shot a Magnum Research Baby Desert Eagle. That was awesome. That thing was such a great gun. And the 45 in that thing was just awesome. It was all steel model, so it was heavy as hell. And I shot the 1911, the what is it? Arms Corps Rock Island Armory. That was nice. I like 45s. I don't feel like it's a major increase in recoil or anything like that. I like shooting 45s. Thanks, telling the truth. Appreciate it. That's a good point. Who doesn't like 45s? There's something like just awesome about 45s, See you, Foo. All right, guys. Any last questions? I'll take them now. If not, we're going to shut this down for tonight because we're going to be repeating it tomorrow. So I'll give you like 10 seconds to type in anything, and then I'll say goodnight. Yeah, 22 TCM. Yep, I've been hearing about that as well. And I know Rock Island Armory makes the 9 and the 22 TCM. 40s, huh? Yeah. Everybody's got their preference, man. It's the beauty of it all. All right, guys. I appreciate your time coming in here. Again, it was an impromptu deal, but like I said, thanks for coming in and just spending some time with me. I always appreciate it. And again, check us out tomorrow. 3 Guys will be on tomorrow on my channel. So check it out. I'll make sure I put a posting up so you guys are reminded. Have a great night, guys. If you're living up here in the Northeast, we're about to get some snow. And and if you're one of those people, stay safe out there, fellas. And if there are any ladies. So have a great night, guys. Thanks for joining me. And I'll see you tomorrow night.